Hello, and welcome to the Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and where you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm your girl Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea purr. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. I am currently not drinking anything because I forgot to grab me something to drink before we started the recording. But that's all right because I'm not really that thirsty. So there we go. But if I was thirsty and I wanted something to drink, I would probably drink it out of my cup mug. And can I pull a cup mug? Yes, and you can be like us, all the cool kids, and get you your cup merch at lanagcreation.etsy.com, where we do ship internationally and domestically in the US. So there are no excuses. And I'm looking at you, Australia. I'm looking at you. Get your cup merch.
And
Period.
Samoa.
Oh, and Samoa, because that's where we're filming. Duh. Y'all get your cup merch. We ship to Samoa. Maybe.
We
I don't
do.
know.
I think that you can get mail out there.
Yeah, sure.
Yes. Well, I'm David Healy. I am the Survivor super fan, and I'm excited to talk about some Australian Survivor. Whoop 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 whoop. And I am drinking some water.
Purr.
And my name is Jack. I am the resident game designer of the panel. And I have been told via a couple DMs that if I attempt an Australian accent at any point during this podcast, I will be fired on the spot.
No, I can't do
Trap door is ready.
it.
I wasn't planning on it, but I need my subscriptions to other things, so I can't risk it. Anyway, I am drinking water out of my cup mug, which is so versatile.
It's so delicious. It's so great. I love that for you, Jack. I love how you follow the rules even when you don't have to. But yes, we are here. We are back talking Australian Survivor. It's back. We're here. We're doing it again. And you know what? If you like men in speedos walking around on the beach all day, this is the show to watch because that's what they do in Australia. We love to see it. But we've had some interesting seasons of Survivor thus far. We just wrapped up Survivor UK. We wrapped up Survivor 45. Now we're here with another season of Australian Survivor. And I'm just going to say this off the bat. The cinematography on Australian Survivor, you can't top it. You can't beat it. It eats up every single time. I come to really love watching the beginning of Survivor Australia because man, they know how to do an introduction. They know how to bring in they tribes. They know how to make us feel engaged to watch who these people are. I love the opening of this. I really did. I'm so excited that they're back.
Me too. One of my favorite things, though, about the opening every season with Australian Survivor is hearing JLP. Um, he he does his like intro so different from Jeff. Like Jeff is like
Mm-hmm.
39 days, 18 people, one
Right.
survivor, and JLP is like 50 days, 24 people, one survivor. He just says it's so lazy, and it cracks me up every season. So I always look forward to that.
Yeah, he like, look, I'm not gonna yell. I'm gonna yell enough throughout the season. This is the moment. Just go chill. 50 days, 24 people, one survivor. Y'all know what it is. He's just so cool with it. He's so cool with it. I love it. But we jumped ahead, and let me stop and step back a little bit. Skirt, skirt. Y'all should subscribe to this channel while we're here, because you should do that. We got business stuff we need to take care of before we get into the episode. So subscribe to this channel, subscribe to our main channel, subscribe to our ESC channel, because we putting out content almost every single day about almost all things drag race, drag, um, reality TV, wrestling, Eurovision, song contest. We got stuff coming out all the time on those three channels. So go to our main channel, follow the Cup Pod, come to this channel, subscribe to this channel. You're already here, so subscribe to this channel. And go to our other channel, the Cup ESC, and subscribe there. We got stuff coming for you. Also, if you want to donate to us, to this podcast, monetarily, we appreciate it. You can go to our main channel and hit that button right below. It's the super thanks. Give us a super thanks. We appreciate you. All the money that you send to this channel will go right back into the podcast to help us be better and greater and make greater content. Also, when you watch this video, we would have launched our membership channel here and on Patreon. So you can join us and be a part of the podcast on our membership channel here on YouTube or on Patreon, where you will get exclusive content that we're putting out and we're making for you guys. You get to know who we are as panelists, all other things that we, cute little shows that we got, little segments that we got for you guys. So check out our main channel, become a member. It's just $5. And you'll get some really great stuff we got planned coming up for you guys. So do all of that, and we appreciate you. Thanks. Now, got all the business crap out the way. Now back to the fun stuff. The opening, like I said, amazing. I loved how we got the Titans on the big boat, and they're all sitting around coming in, and we get introductions to a bunch of them to see who they are and why they were considered Titans in the first place. And then all of a sudden, whoop, 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 four other boats, smaller boats, come rolling in, and the rebels are hanging off the side. They're like, "Yeah, we coming. We see you." They like rebels without a cause, and they like screaming and hollering and whooping it up. And they come in on their boats, and the Titans looking at them like, "What?" And they coming in, and they both start circling the big boat. I was like, I love it. It was amazing. I enjoyed that very much.
Yeah, I just
I
love that the rebels were just taunting them the whole time, like making faces. Of course, Kelly's going whoop whoop. That's her thing that she loves to do. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
we also get kind of an explainer for what a Titan versus what a rebel is here. I gotta say, this is a really, really loose definition. It's Titans are at the top of their game, and rebels make their own rules. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I got, and I'm gonna try and compare it to tribes from the US. It's almost like Goliath versus no collar. I think that's the best way to describe it. It isn't super clear what being a rebel means. I mean, one of the examples is PETA, who is a very tatted up woman who owns a bar and just not expected to typically be female presenting and also very tatted up and owning a bar. But like some of the roles on this game could be swapped. For example, Winna. Winna is a competitive eater and is ranked 10th in Australia. So he's a Titan. He also is primarily known for social media, where he makes his own content and essentially is making his own rules. So I argue he could be a Titan, I mean, a rebel. And it's a weird dichotomy of I see why a lot of the Titans are there. The rebels could be swapped around, but it's just I don't mind. I love the tribe divisions, and I think they're pretty even, all things considered. It just a little bit of a tighter definition on rebels would have been nice.
Yeah, it's not like these are even remotely similar to champions and contenders. Definitely very, very, very different than those tribe divisions, right? Also, I believe Garrick is a police officer on the Rebels tribe. Um, I find it very hard to believe that he's not a rule follower if he's a police officer.
I mean,
Same
unless
with
he's
a
a dirty
teacher.
cop.
True, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, while we're talking about these people, let's get up and see who these people are that we're talking about. Because these are the Titan tribe, the ones in blue. Um, Viola, Jaden, Nathan, Charles, Jessica, Valeria, Valeria,
Valeria.
Valeria. Look, I said when I saw it, I was like, it's Valeria, right? And they're like, nope, it's Valeria. And I've been trying to say it right all this day so I can remember it, and I still said it wrong. Valeria, Kitty, Eden, Caroline, Frankie, Winna, and Mark. Now, I want y'all to do me a favor. I know y'all got something to drink. I didn't bring anything to drink. But I need you to drink every time Mark says he's a former and political
Diplomat.
diplomat. Because I think I heard he was a diplomat at least 5 times in this episode.
Yeah.
And that's a guesstimation. But we know, Mark, you're a diplomat. Got it. We move. But on the Rebels tribe, we have Eileen, Ferris, Garrick, Tobias, Peta, Raymond, Sarah, Kirby, Alex, Rihanna, Kelly, and Scott. Yeah.
I
Now
love
I'm
the
gonna be
tribe
honest.
colors.
I do. I love the blue. I was like, I want to be a Titan because I would wear the heck out of that blue.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm looking at this chart, and it's 3 episodes in. I don't know some of these people yet.
Yeah.
I have some
I'm like,
guesses.
I'd say we know a lot more of the Titans. Like, out of the people there, a lot less of the Titans have been basically non-existent in the edit versus the Rebels. Granted, due to the events of the first 3 episodes, that kind of makes sense, but also this is one of the primary issues of Australian Survivor, that they don't give like half of the game in edit at all. So
yeah, yeah. I'm sitting here
rough.
looking at these people, and I'm like, is that who? It's a couple of people I don't remember yet.
I'm
We'll
guessing
maybe we'll.
Eileen and Scott.
Oh
And
no, I
maybe
knew Eileen. I knew
okay.
Eileen. It's Scott for sure.
Mhm.
I had no idea who that is.
Well, Scott is a good person to comfort you. If you need comfort, just say,
Oh,
Scott,
I
come
heard that.
comfort
Scott,
me.
come comfort me. Oh, I did hear the name. Didn't see the person, but I heard the name. Well, Julie. Okay, well, we won't we'll jump. So that we get to the first challenge of it all, and they're out talking to JLP, and he's, just getting to know people, and he's asking people a couple questions if they think they're on the right tribe. Would you consider yourself a Titan or a rebel? And we got Kelly, who's just like, yeah, yeah, woo, woo, I'm a rebel, yeah, yeah, and a woo, 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 woo. But I was like, I'm going to hate this woman. That is literally what I said. I was like, this woman is gonna get on my nerves very quickly. And she was making her jokes. And she's a psychologist. We know that. And she's like, I'm a psychologist, but I'm not telling anybody because I don't want people to look at me and be like, oh, she can read everything about me. So I'm gonna not tell people I'm a psychologist. And I'm just gonna make funny jokes and crack jokes and be loud. That's just who I am. And I was like, mm-hmm. Okay. That was my first impression of Kelly. I was just like,
She's kind of reminding me of how Bruce was in Survivor 45 right off the bat,
oh,
just trying to be like, I'm the cool uncle. Like, I feel like she's trying way too hard to fit in with people that are not her peers, to be honest, for the most
absolutely.
part. Like, even the like, whoop, whoop, I'm like, that is not, that's like a very Gen X type of thing. That is not what younger people do anymore. Like, I remember I used to hear that all the time growing up. People
Right.
don't do that anymore.
We don't
That's not making you relatable.
know. It's just showing how old you are, girl. Like, I, yeah, I was kind of like, okay, well, all right. Um, who else stood out to me in this just in this little moment? It was um Viola, number
that was
one.
that was the number one that stood out to me.
That was the number one who stood out to me for several reasons. Not only because she was the only black woman on this whole entire cast, and you can't help but see her, but her baby,
That body.
that body. When she took off that and only was in her swims, I was like, my God, woman, you and this six pack beyond like plaquette, plaquette, plaquette. I was like, oh my God, the arms. And then she was like, I'm queen, so call me Queen V and address me as such. And I was like, absolutely. I absolutely will address you as such, Queen V. Period. Loved her. I loved
Mhm.
her instantly. I was like, oh my God. And
Me
who else stood out to me was Valeria. Because number one, she had on that fuzzy blue jacket and those shiny blue pants or shorts. And I was like, I'm here for a supermodel. I mean, you let them know. Like, baby, my fashion sense is amazing. Even on Survivor, I'm gonna be cute. And she came in with her jacket and her silky shiny hot pants, and I was like, "You work, Valeria. I'm not even mad at you. You do it." She's gorgeous too, by the way. But I was just like, "Okay, I see you. I see you."
Yeah, I didn't think I would like her based on her initial intro, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I will say,
Same.
spoiler, I was very wrong, because she's way up there in my list of favorites.
Absolutely. So, any have any other impressions that from you guys that you have this person in just this moment? Who stood out the
Mhm.
most?
Raymond was another one that stood out to me because he just seemed so different than everybody else on his tribe. Like, even being a rebel, he just seemed so like quirky and awkward in the best way. He made the joke about how he was asked to be on the Titans, and he said no. So they're like, "How rebellious of you! We'll put you on the rebels tribe."
I love that. Jack, anybody for you?
I mean, Raymond stood out for me immediately just because I've been online for so long, and his shirt, that the I paused my game to be here shirt, that shirt has been around for so long and has been a joke of like, that is someone who's always inside and always is talking about games. To see it on Australian Survivor, I was very much just, why is that here? And it's this show also has a lot of graphic tees, which just completely different from US Survivor, which I'm very used to. The amount of shirts that they ordered from Timu and gave to this cast is incredible. It works. It works and it feels really different. I just love
Love
it.
that. So we go into the first challenge, which is the fire challenge, where they have to go out into the water, swim to the big pallet that's floating in the water, grab all your fire making stuff, and bring it back to the beach and try to get your fire started and high enough to for it to burn through this huge statue and burn your flag. If you get that, you win, and you win Flint. So we saw two different approaches here when this challenge started. We saw the Titans decide that they're going to make a conveyor belt line and they're going to pass stuff along, and somebody's going to run to the and put the stuff up. And the rebels decided we just go grab stuff and run back and put it back, which I was like, yeah, that's the smart option. Because that passing two logs apiece is crazy when one person can actually carry five logs and somebody can carry a bag and somebody can carry, some more stuff, and we can be done with this. So the rebels was off to a very early lead when it came to making their fire. Then we saw the Titans decide, you know what, let's change it up. Let's all grab some stuff. Let's just change it up and let's just go. It's like, yeah, duh, smart. So they changed up their strategy. They grabbed the stuff and they were going back and they're like, we got enough. We got enough. Let's just go. Let's just go. Let's just go. Let's just go. And here's my thing. I said this when they said this was Titans versus Rebels, and how what they described the Titans as, like, everybody on the Titans team are bosses. Everybody on the Titan teams run things in their real lives. That they are CEOs of things. They're lawyers of things. They're managers of things. Like, they own stuff. So all of these people are bosses. And when they said that, I was like, and there's the caveat. I said, that is what is going to be the downfall of this Titans team, because they going to need time to adjust from everybody being the boss to actually being followers at some point, because somebody needs to take lead, so we're not all having a team full of bosses trying to run things at the same time, because that will never work. And we saw it in this challenge because everybody was trying to take the lead. Nobody was listening to instructions or how to do stuff or when we wanted to get it done. And they were like, let's get it together. We got this. We got. They run around like chickens with their head cut off. And they getting stuff together. They like, let's light this fire right now. And they're like, we ain't even got stuff together yet. We need to build the difference between the way the foundation was constructed on each side. This is the Rebels foundation. Very tall, very sturdy, very strong. This was the Titan side. I was like, you got sticks just laying on top of each other. We ain't got no kindling in there. We just got sticks laying on top of each other. And now we go try to light this and think this is going to hold and light this whole thing up. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, and then you light it early, and then that makes it harder to build on it. But going back to what you were saying about the difference in style here, it's funny because I compared it to Champions versus Contenders. In the 2 seasons we saw of that, the Champions struggled out of the gate on both of those seasons. The first season, the Champions really did find their legs, and they ended up winning a lot of challenges in the second half of the tribal part. So I'm interested to see if the Titans are going to do the same.
Yeah. I don't know. It's very interesting to watch it, but it makes sense because everybody who thinks they're the boss, or the champions, as you say, they always like, oh, we know what we're doing. We've been here before. We did this, so we all know what we're doing. No, somebody still got to take a lead, and somebody needs to listen, and we all need to follow some kind of structure or instructions to actually make this team work. This is a team sport right now, but we saw them struggling, and the rebels was having a little trouble lighting their fire first, so that gave them time to continue to build their structure while the girl Eileen was trying to light the fire. She was like, I can't, it's not coming. So like swapping out.
She was so like timid and gingerly with her like strike.
Like, girl, you gotta hit that thing. You gotta hit that thing. She was just like, nope, it's not working, y'all. I don't know. But they switched out, and then they switched out again. I don't remember who ended up lighting it. I think it was Tobias who ended up lighting it for real. But lit it. The Titan scene, they lit theirs early, but they couldn't build on it, like you said, because they had no room to grow. I was like, oh, they're going to have to run back out there and get some more stuff, which is crazy. But absolutely didn't have to do that because the rebels just ate it up, ate them down. They won the fire challenge
8-1
and
down.
ate one down. They ate one down. Let that sink in. They ate
Hmm.
one down, and they took the Flint. They got to go home with Flints, and yeah, how was that? It's the start of a lot of events that yeah. Um, so we go back and we get some introductions around the camps. I don't know what else. If there was something that you all want to talk about that you thought about in these moments where they were back at camp.
There was not a lot. I think one of the first things that I see is like a lot of people pairing up.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy how many different pairs we have on both tribes
Mm-hmm.
in 3 episodes. It seems like almost everybody has somebody that they're like very closely working with. Um, but some of the standouts, we immediately see that people are cuddling at the Rebels tribe. You have Alex doing a very intense cuddle with PETA. Tobias is cuddling with Sarah. And then back on the other tribe, we're seeing Nathan and Frankie connecting. Jaden's also kind of in with them. We see my favorite pair.
Mine
Um,
too.
yes,
Yeah.
Viola and Valeria. And
Yes.
this is where it changed for me. I'm like, okay. As soon as Valeria was like, I found my true love
The love
out
of my
on this
life.
island. I was like, which guy is it?
I was like, who is it?
And then she says
She said
Viola. And I'm like,
Viola. I was like,
oh,
I literally was like, oh, yes,
mhm.
good taste, girl. I was like, the love of your life. Who is it?
Yeah, I love it. I think they are like so adorable. Their friendship is endearing. I cannot get enough of them. They are easily like in my top 3 people of this season. There's another person who's my favorite, but it's for very specific reasons relating to who I am and me
Oh
kind of,
yeah, I know exactly who it
Oh,
is.
yeah,
yeah.
no, there's only one person.
And because I was like, when I saw this person, I immediately thought of you. I was
Mhm.
like, that is David on Survivor. I can't. Yep, that'll be David on
Yep,
Survivor. I was
pretty
like, we
much.
are going, yeah, but that will be Eden. We just gonna get that out of the
Mhm.
way. That will be
Oh,
Eden.
yeah.
I was like, oh, that is David, and I said he is going to give us um movie line after movie line after movie line after movie line, and you know what? He did,
He
and I was
did.
like, oh, okay.
At least one each episode.
One each episode for sure. I was like, all right, well,
And he sure was
and it's
wearing
not.
Jurassic Park shirt a lot in his little video clip, and that's my favorite movie ever. So I just want to be friends with Eden. Like I really want to talk to him.
And
I,
it's
I
not even like corny either. Like they genuinely just work.
Hmm.
He has the charisma to pull that off.
I was not annoyed with Eden in except one time in this episode, and it was just the one because I was like, boy, okay, it's all right. Look, this dial it back a little bit, but you all right, you all right. Because he told us who he was. He was like, this is what I do. I watch every movie all the time, all the movies that ever came out. I probably watched them. That's what I do. That is my life. Like, movies are my life. So I'm like, if movies is his life, I don't know. We shouldn't expect anything different from him, and we don't, and I don't, and so I'm fine with Eden quoting movie lines after movie line, but it was just
Hmm.
the one time. But
Eden, come join us, and we'll do a movie podcast together.
absolute. Look, I'm about to say, just go and slip into the DMs, David. You know you want to just slip in there and be like, Eden, we got you. I think you and Eden can do a good tea party conversation. That would
For
be
sure.
very interesting. I would so listen to that. I would pay a membership for that.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Good idea.
Good idea. I'm just saying. Um. So yeah, I was with you when it came to Valeria and Viola. I was like, I did not expect that to happen. I did not see it coming, but I was like, okay, all right. And somebody else who I was like, oh, I didn't think I was gonna be a fan of them, but I kind of am, was Garrick.
Hmm.
I was like, oh, it's something about this old man. I kind of okay. I kind of, and he showed me in this in episode later that we'll talk about later why I was drawn to him. He didn't say much, and he didn't talk a lot. We didn't get a whole lot of him in the first couple episodes, but what we got of him, I was like, hmm, I don't know what it is, but I think I like this guy. We'll
Hmm.
see. I kind of held on to it. I was like, I'll see, but I'm gonna keep my eye on him. I kind of like him and Ferris.
Yeah,
That's
I like
Ferris.
that. They're another duo I'm
Yes.
really liking. They almost remind me of a weird like alternate reality version of George and Jerry from last season because Ferris even
Mm.
mentioned George in his opening and how he
Mm-hmm.
really likes how he changed the game, and I see Ferris as somebody who is a less messy version of George, and then Garrick is somebody who is like Jerry with agency. So I think that they're going to be a really interesting pair to watch.
Anybody sticking out to you, Joe?
I mean, the only I'm trying to think of the only pair we really haven't mentioned yet.
I can think of one, and I know why we didn't
Yeah,
mention them.
Eden and Mark kick it off really nicely.
Oh yes,
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking Kitty and Carolyn.
Yeah, that too. I mean, both of those pairs are just really interesting. Eden and
Middle age
Mark,
mafia.
the middle-aged mafia. That's exactly the term they use, and it works. Uh, they're a bit more important later on, but it's just good once again to also see people who are not in their 20s on these shows, people who are older and wiser. So thank God we have something.
For sure. For sure. For sure. So, um, I'm guessing we can move on to the next challenge because I don't think we have anything else up until this. It's the rock and roll challenge, is what they like to call it, where four tribe members will begin hoisting what hoist, hoisting on ropes to lift a box to reveal a great giant boulder. Then four members will scale over the board before pulling on it to topple it. After connecting the rope to the boulder, the tribe will pull the boulder, drag it up to the tower, while six members stay on the ground to assist in raising the boulder on top of the tower. And then the other six members will aim the boulder down the ramp to knock over these three giant pins. And the first tribe to knock down all three pins win. Yeah, seems simple enough, right?
It did. I think this is one of the biggest examples I've seen recently of a tribe losing a challenge just by having a really poorly thought out strategy. Um, Mainly that last leg, we see that the
Mm-hmm.
Titans, for some reason, and the women are amazing. They are capable. They are strong. They have a strong tribe of women, but they have a lot of strong men too, and they really needed those strong men on the ground.
All of them.
Yes, because
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was just Eden and five other women on the ground.
And Jaden.
Oh, okay, Eden, Jaden, and then four women, and then they
Yep.
had all the men up on top guiding the things, which I'm sure all the women would have been
Would have been
probably
perfectly
better
fine with God.
at
Right,
guiding.
probably
Yeah.
better at guiding it.
I mean,
I
that's exactly what the rebels did.
mm-hmm.
And surprise, surprise, even with the rebels missing one time and having to go back up and reset, they still win.
Mhm.
Which I mean, it was kind of a blowout in that sense.
It was, but see, we had this problem. It's something we didn't mention while we are talking about them at camp. The men on the Titan side, some of them a little lazy, a little bougie, a little. want to touch stuff. I don't want to get my hands dirty. Kind of, if I ain't gotta work, I'm like, what? What you mean you don't want to work? You what? It's huh? Like Jaden and Nathan literally stood on camp at camp and was just like, I don't know what we're doing all this. I'm like, you don't know why we're doing this because it's a survivor and you need to build a shelter. Like you need a shelter to stay in that will keep you a little bit out of the elements. You need this stuff. That's why you're working and you're chopping down trees and you're building like tarps and tent things out of leaves and like have you not seen this show? What do you mean you don't want to work? So the fact that Nathan hopped his big old self with all them muscles that he claimed to love to have on that tower and be so useless in this challenge, I was like, are you kidding me? Y'all relying on the Samoan to just lift this big old heavy boulder pretty much by himself. And y'all go sit there and like, oh no, because we got Viola down there and we got Eden is down there. Yeah, Viola's strong, but she can't lift no big old boulder by herself with just Jaden. Like, come on now. I looked at Nathan and I was just like, why is your big old arms up there? Your big arms need to be down here pulling this rope. Winner, you ain't got big arms, but you still stronger than some of these women who down here trying to pull this boulder. Get yourself down here and pull this, Mr. Diplomat. If you don't get yourself down here and pull this boulder up this thing, pull it. I am all about women being strong because we are strong, but we all are really realistic. It's certain things men are stronger at than women, period. And lifting up a big old 120-ton boulder is probably one of them. So let's switch this around. Like I was just so flabbergasted when I saw how they separate. I was like, who thought of this? And who said it was okay to do this? Like, what?
Yeah, and once I realized their mistake, they weren't allowed to switch anybody out. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that just kind of put like the headstone on their grave.
It was ridiculous. But the Rebels win, and the Titans are going to tribal for the first time. And we get back to camp, and we see Frankie, Nathan go off and kind of be like, hey, look here. We need to figure out who we want to go. We just need to figure that out. I don't,
It's like high school.
It's like high school. They already click it up and da-da-da-da. And then we see Jessica talking to somebody. I can't remember.
Nathan?
oh, yeah, she talked to Nathan. And was like, we should really get rid of Frankie because we got a lot of strong women on this tribe, and so a lot of the women have the same skill set, so we don't really need all of them here. And I was like, Jessica girl, what? Jessica girl, huh? You gonna wait? What? I'm looking at this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 women are on this tribe. 6 of them. Okay, and five. Am I right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 6. So 6 men, 6 women. And she like, a lot of the women have the same skill set as far as strength. So we don't really need all the strong women. So we can just knock off one. What about Frankie? And Nathan's like, yeah. Frankie. Sure. Walks away immediately, go tells Frankie, Jessica is trying to come after you. She's trying to get you out. And so Frankie is like, she said all the strong women on the team, we got enough of them. So y'all got the same skill set. So we need to get rid of one. And you were it. And she was like, that doesn't even make sense to me. And I was like, it don't make sense to me either, Frankie. That don't make sense to me either. I don't get that because if we're trying to build the strength of our team, mm, we all get off the strong women. Okay, Jessica, I see what you're doing because you the weaker woman. You just don't want it to be on you. Got it. Good. But then Jessica goes tell Mark, and Mark and Eden have this invisible hands connection thing that they want to do. They don't want to look like the leader, but they are the puppet masters. They're gonna be above
Mhm.
just making sure the puppets do what they say. And so they like, okay. So I think we see what's happening. Y'all see what's going on right there. Because we got Frankie, we got Nathan, we got Jaden, and even Winner. He's over there too. They all clicked up and they all grouped up together and they think they running everything. So why don't we flip the script and put it on Frankie? Because Frankie and Nathan really went hard around camp telling everybody the move is Jessica. The move is Jess. That's what it is. That's the move we making.
Yeah,
And
and
everybody's like,
they really handled it the wrong way too.
"Ooh."
Like there were many examples of them doing
Mhm.
the wrong thing. So we see them talking to Caroline and Kitty, and they're like, "Hey, we're going to just carry you through the game," and you could immediately see like, "Oh, you're going to carry us?
Carrie
Thank
B.
you." Like they were
Oh,
not having
Carrie.
that, and they go to Eden, and they're like, "Hey, you should come on board with us. We've got." Blah 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 blah. It's like, okay, so wait, I'm number 7 or
7.
6, maybe
Mhm.
8. Just like
Yeah.
person after person, they just handled it the wrong way. It's almost as if they've never actually seen
They've
Survivor.
never seen the game before.
And then on top of all of that, after they do all of that, they decide, you know what? That's enough. We're
That's
going to
it.
go swim.
Yep.
Just we finished strategizing. We're good. We know what we're doing tonight. Let's go swim.
And they
Just
stayed
the
out there
3 of us, the
just to
3 core that we name first
right.
when we name all the people in the alliance.
Absolutely. And we're just gonna go out there and do that for forever, as long as we feel like it. Because why not? While they're out swimming and doing their thing, Mark and Eden are like, I don't think I like how they talk to us. And they get Kitty and Caroline was like, yeah, I don't like how they talk to us either because apparently they go carry us through the game. And Eden was like, oh, and I'm like, yeah, I was like last in their alliance, like, oh, and you too. And he was like, I don't think I want to do that. So they were like, yeah, no. So Mark was like, well, I think I got a pretty good relationship with Viola and Valeria. So I'm gonna go talk to them. And Eden was like, I'm gonna go talk to Charles and see what he says and see if we can get in his ear. So they go off and Viola's like, oh, Frankie? Oh yeah. Valeria was like, are we sure? Because I think at that moment she was looking for Viola to make sure that this
Mhm.
she was real about like, oh yeah, we're gonna do Frankie. Or was this like oh yeah, yeah, for sure, because they asked and you don't want to say no. Um, and they were like, oh, she could totally go. And Charles is on board. So everybody's getting on board. So we got Mark, Caroline, Eden, Kitty, Valeria, Jessica, and Viola all and Charles all was like, yeah, we can vote for Frankie to go. But Jaden, Nathan, Frankie, and Winner was all going to vote Jessica to go. And that's pretty much how we end up getting to they leave us with pretty much us knowing how the votes were going for this
Mhm.
first tribal council. Everybody knew except Frankie and Winner and Nathan and Jaden because we get to tribal council, everybody get their torches, and then once again, I love the tribal council set. I was like one of my favorites. I do love it. Um, anything of that happens at tribal council that you all want to talk about?
Not a lot. You could just tell how confident that group was. They did not see this coming at all. I feel like in a later episode, we see a very similar story,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that group might have seen it coming a little bit more than this one.
Absolutely, absolutely. Anything, Jet?
Yeah, I mean, it's the simple classic story of a group getting way too cocky and being humbled by the tribe saying, no, we're not doing what you say. We have agency.
Absolutely. But they did that, and the vote comes down and eliminated as Frankie.
I wanted it to be Nathan the
I
whole time.
wanted it to be Nathan
I
too.
was like, oh, he's pretty, but he can go.
I was hoping it'd be Nathan. I was like, why aren't we saying Nathan? Why are we only looking at the strong woman and not the strong dude?
Tale as
But
old as time on Survivor. If there's a
always.
man-woman pair, always take out the woman first.
It's so frustrating and annoying. So, tips for all you ladies who think of well on Survivor: don't let your number one be a man, or and make it obvious, or just don't make it obvious. Don't do it obvious. You know who he is, but y'all don't hang out together. Y'all just see each other from time to time and you know do a head nod. Because if it's between the two of y'all, they taking you out first. So there we go. Frankie's out. That's it. So we move on to episode 2 because Frankie's gone. And poor Frankie. Sorry, Frankie. We go to episode 2, and like you said, I feel like these episodes kind of just are about the same. A lot of the same things are happening that we see in the previous episodes. So I'm like, okay. But we get back. Nathan is shocked. He can't believe Frankie's gone. He's just like, what happened? I wish I would have known. I wish people would have told me. I was like, you couldn't have known because you would have quickly went and told Frankie that she was on the chopping block. No, they wasn't gonna
Yep.
tell you.
And he
They
said
wasn't.
so. He said as much. He's like, I wish I had known so I could have changed things up. That's why you didn't know.
That's why you didn't know, man. But
And I
we
think Jessica feels like at this point, oh, my move worked.
oh, absolutely.
I
Yeah,
mean, that was not your
Jessica
move.
gets a massive ego boost out of this, not realizing that she didn't pull it off, but it was much more Eden and Mark, and she was
Mhm.
really just the first person to say that name.
Mhm.
She it
And
was it was that moment. Jessica was like she fell into Delulu land and she was like, oh, I made that move happen. I did that. And Mark and Eden are like, okay, you want to claim the move? Go ahead. It's yours. Because some
Let the
people gonna
queen
be mad
sit
about the
pretty.
move. Hmm.
Let the queen sit pretty.
Absolutely. You go on up there, Miss Royalty. You own this move. Sit on your throne and gloat about it if you want to. And she was just like, I made this move happen. I wonder who I'm gonna do next. Like, girl, okay, work. I've never seen somebody get that delusional that fast over one move. But
Mhm.
she was happy about it.
she was feeling her oats.
She felt it.
She wished she had a mustache to twirl.
Oh my god.
Oh
Maybe in a few more
man,
days.
absolutely. But
David.
we go to the reward challenge, and um, it's a tug of war. And they were competing in pairs or in teams of 5, whichever happened. And the tribe will tug on a box containing a mystery prize and pull it so that it crosses their white line. And that tribe managed to get the box across the line on their boundary. They win whatever prize was in
PlayStation 5.
oh, on an island with no TV. And but so all of these things, they were like, okay, let's do it. So I don't remember the pairs, but the first round, the rebels win. Well, the rebels win a round. I'll say they won a round. I'm not gonna, and they won chocolate and marshmallows. Oh, that they won round 3. So the first round, the Titans win, and they got fishing gear. which good. And in the second round, they got bananas.
This should have been immediately suspicious.
Absolutely, just bananas.
And not only just bananas, like exactly enough for everyone to have exactly one.
Yeah.
That's the reward. It doesn't make sense unless you know that the producers are doing something else with it. And we see
Yep.
that something else later.
Yeah. Round 3, the rebels get chocolate and marshmallows. They can make them some s'mores. And then round 4, the Titans get tarps and twine. So they can finally have a roof for their shelter. Good on them.
Yeah,
Because those ladies have been braiding um
palm fronds.
those palm fronds for like 4 days now. They just been braiding and braiding and braiding, and they still ain't had enough to cover the whole roof. But now they got a tarp, so yay, good on them.
I do also want to say this definitely proves that the Titans have the capability to win if there are set leadership and follower positions. Here, where there's only 2 people competing and there are 10 people off to the side, the 2 people competing can just follow the instructions of those to the side, and they won pretty handily almost every single round they played.
Based on
Hmm.
strategy.
Yes, it was
Yeah,
really
If I'm
they kept letting
remembering,
the other team burn out.
yeah,
absolutely.
if I'm remembering right, the only round they lost is when there were 5 people on the rope. I
Yes,
want to say that's true. And
I think
that's the
so.
round where it could be technically classified as a team versus like a pair of people.
Right.
So the Rebels won the team round, but the Titans won the round where it's just a pair of people and a bunch of people on the sidelines.
Yep, absolutely. So we go back to camp after the reward challenge, and everybody gets their bananas, and they're like, "Yay, we got bananas!" And they start eating their bananas, and then Winter was like, what the heck? Something tried to choke me. I was like, what y'all doing? We're giving people's hard sticks in a banana for? You gonna try to break their whole teeth? But he pulls out what he sees as a scroll. He's like, oh. He sticks it in the pocket, and he can't wait to go look what it says. And he goes and he tells Jaden. He's like,
Tries to.
well, tries to tell Jaden. Jaden for me, I like Jaden, but I think Jaden's a bit goofy, and like not in a bad way, but like in a
He's like a
party.
cuddly teddy bear.
Exactly, in that goofy, sweet kind of. He seems like a sweet, sweet man, but he just seems like he doesn't listen much until you like literally have to like, hey, I'm talking to you. I'm trying to tell you something. He's like, okay, okay, and it was that conversation was weird to me, but y'all can talk about it.
Mm. Yeah, it was funny just seeing when trip up on his words when he was trying to describe where the idol was hidden. But this was the point where I realized, oh wait, I've actually seen one of Winna's videos because I'm not on TikTok, but I have like they showed the clip of him going up to a man and being like, "Hey, act like you're Chinese. I have my girlfriend on the phone," and I've definitely seen that video. It's where he's like supposedly pretending he's at a Chinese restaurant and he's having the random person just pretend to be like a Chinese waiter. It's very problematic, but I have seen that. So I was like, okay, yeah, I recognize this.
Yeah. And I mean, he fully just reads the little scroll he got once he realizes, yeah, Jaden's not going to pay attention to this. So I'm just going to go off. Reads it and goes off and grabs it.
Yep.
Like he was dead on that he knew exactly where it was. And he gets it, and I just got to say the hidden immunity idol for this season beautiful. Beautiful. It is so gorgeous. Just a full medallion, blue and pinkish red. It works perfectly.
Yeah, I
I'd cut
agree.
it though.
I actually like the like the actual immunity idol too, the team one, because it's just like a cup that you win for, like, I don't know, like they have different sports things. I don't know sports things, but they have cups that they give out to people for winning sports things, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's how it works.
Hmm.
I've seen it before in like video games or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think a lot else stood out to me before the next challenge. Unless, was this when we get the yeah, we learn a bit more about the alliance between Mark and Eden. They're the invisible hand, and they talk about how they're actually like secretly running things. And yeah.
They almost
Oh,
want to try and keep like a balance, but this is also the moment where the middle-aged mafia directly gets mentioned and they pull in Kitty and Caroline. And like I'm not against this alliance at all. I kind of love it.
they were not the two women I was hoping would be pulled into this alliance, to be honest. But I do like to see older people do well in Survivor, so it's a double-edged sword here.
Yeah, I agree with you, David. I was like, oh, okay, Kitty Caroline, sure, whatever. Uh, but it makes sense. It makes sense for the middle-aged mafia for them to be a part of it. So I was like, okay, cute, cute. Um, yeah. So we go to the next challenge. Keep it moving. It was called the Nut Bucket,
Of
where you
course.
had absolutely, where you had two members from each tribe to hold on to a basket. Meanwhile, the remaining nine members will race through obstacle course, collecting coconuts along the way, and the tribe will then toss the coconuts into the opponent's basket. And the last pair holding on to their tribe's basket wins for their tribe. Now we have Ferris and Tobias holding the basket for the rebels. And then we have Jaden and Viola holding on to the baskets for the Titans. And I was like, okay, she's a strong woman. So, okay. I mean, I think Nathan probably might have been a better person to hold on to the baskets, but
But he was good at shooting those.
he was good at shooting, though.
He was
He was
really good
good
at
at
shooting.
shooting. I mean, maybe he's a basketball player, and they were like, okay, we need somebody who goes be able to shoot really well, so we'll let him do it, which was fine. I liked that Jaden and Viola at first was like swinging the baskets around and making the rebels miss. And I was like, I wish they would have continued to do that because that was working for them. Like they should have continued to swing the baskets because like that made sense. But
It probably got them pretty tired, though.
That
probably
that that was my thought. Is it works really well,
when you got nothing
but
in there.
they like
Mhm.
tucker themselves out really quickly, and they quickly realized once the rebels actually started scoring, like, wait a minute, this is getting really heavy.
Mhm.
This isn't good.
Yeah.
I thought they had it for a minute.
Me too.
I did too.
I thought they were on a really, really like they had a good hold on it. They were seated. They were, and Ferris and Tobias was gassed. They were like, I don't know. But the minute they saw Viola and Jaden start to get shaky, they were like, all right, we digging deep. And they dug so deep that they won.
Hmm.
They dropped the basket. And I was like, oh, well, Julie,
Yeah.
once
We're going
again,
back to travel.
yep, they're going back to travel. So we get back to camp, and Jessica's feeling herself still. Jessica's like, let me go make my plan and put it in action. and let's make it happen again like we did with the Frankie vote, because obviously I'm running everything around him. So they go. She goes and tells. I think she told Viola and Valeria first that she wanted to do Eden,
I think Mark was
and
there too.
that
Yeah.
I think she told Mark in the
Later.
second group. Yeah, Mark was in the second group. She told, because then she went and told. Well, Nathan. She told Nathan that Eden was the pick, and Nathan was like, "Cool, that works." So then she goes and tells Mark and Valeria and Viola again that Eden is the call, and Mark is like, hmm,
What?
okay. Hmm.
What was really funny to me is when she was talking to Nathan, he was actually the first person to say Eden in this
Mm-hmm.
conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And then it cut to like a confessional of her being like, I'm my own person in this game. I'm not going to follow anybody else. I'm going to make my own decisions. I'm doing
Eden.
Eden. And I'm like, wait,
Wait, huh?
sounds like you're following Nathan.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And she, I mean, we already saw, because she's a lecturer. If we did not know, we didn't mention she's a very famous lecturer on college campuses, and that's what she does. She's really good at her job. And after the last episode, she came back and lectured the group, and everybody else is kind of like, lecturing us already, huh? We don't really need lectures, but sure. But now in this episode, she's just like, gonna put my skills to test. She's gonna go around and go tell everybody what they need to do. And Mark is like, I'm a diplomat. I don't I've been trained for this. I've been working for this. I know exactly what I'm going to do. And Eden is part of my plan. And so there's no way I'm getting rid of Eden. So Jessica, you just sealed your own fate. So he went around and he told Caroline and Kitty that the plan is Jessica. He told Charles, and he's like, I'm not going to tell Eden that Jessica put his name out there. I'm not going to do that because I don't want him to freak out. I don't want him to panic. We just go keep it, I'm just going to keep it between me and we won't tell
I'm
him.
not gonna
And
lie, that didn't make any sense to me.
not to,
Realistically, someone was gonna tell Eden. Someone, especially between Kitty and Caroline. If the four of Kitty, Eden, Caroline, and Mark are working together, one of the two of them, if it isn't going to be Mark, one of Kitty or Caroline is going to tell Eden almost no matter what, unless Mark specifically tells them not to.
which he should
So
have.
either you have to go to both of them and tell them not to say anything, which looks really weird, or just tell him yourself, because he's gonna find out. And he does.
And he does exactly what Mark did not want him to do, which was start to freak out and get all paranoid and crazy. I think Mark should have went to Caroline and Kitty and be like, "Hey, listen, we are not going to tell Eden that Jessica's saying his name because we don't need him to flounder and spiral." And I don't think that would have seemed suspicious. That would have seemed like a person trying to help their alliance member not freak out and spiral. And so if he would have went and told those two, I think it would have been fine. But he didn't. But when Eden found out, he totally started spiraling, totally started freaking out. He walking back and forth like, um, okay, is it me? Is it not me? Who should I do? What should I do? I don't know. I don't know. This is crazy. Are they playing me? I think they playing me. They could be playing me. I don't know if they playing me. Oh Jesus, is it me? It's probably me. I think it's me. So I'm like, Eden, calm down. He is freaking out. But I mean, he was like, you don't know how it feels to hear your name being out there for the first time. And it's like, is this the end of my journey? Am I about to go home? And I'm like, that's probably accurate. That's probably very accurate. I don't know because I ain't been out there, but I'm like, wow, he is really going through the emotions of paranoia right now. Like he just didn't know. It was weird. It was not weird, but in a bad way. But like, I didn't want him to be freaking out like that.
Yeah. It could have been worse. I think we see
Yes.
kind of a worse example coming up.
Mm-hmm.
But Yeah, they come up with a good idea to help him out because I would be also worried about like, well, what if she plays an idol? So
Mm-hmm.
that's when they decide to split the votes and they're going to split it on Nathan. Once
Mm-hmm.
again, they really paint by numbers exactly how the vote's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
maybe I missed something in the episode, but we get a conversation of Eden telling Kitty and Caroline, like, hey, just in case of an idol, we're going to vote Nathan. Something comes up a little bit later that makes me question an additional conversation that might have happened off screen, but it
Oh,
feels like
I know what you're saying.
someone else knew about it and was very much on board because they knew the situation was impossible.
So I wanna.
Yeah, I'm talking exactly about Winna. Winna has the idol and knows that the plan on Jess is basically going to go through no matter what
Mm-hmm.
because he has the only chance to stop it. And he's not taking out Nathan via his own idol because he doesn't really have a problem with Nathan staying on the tribe. But we never exactly get a scene of why Winna swaps. I'm just assuming that situation, in which case that is a really smart move for him because it makes him seem like he doesn't have the idol because he was part of a split vote plan to prevent an idol.
Sure. But we get to tribal, and like you said, David, paint by numbers of who's voting for whom, pretty
Mhm.
much. I think Winner might have been the only one who we didn't really know what he was going to vote for. But um, the votes go how the votes go. We get some votes against Eden. We get a vote against Eden. We get votes, a few votes against Nathan, but the majority of the votes go to Jessica, and Jessica is out. And yeah, that's
Bye.
it. Bye,
Yeah.
girl. Sorry, girl. So we move to episode 3, where the Cuddle Gang is coming out in force. And they are like, you know what? We need to start some stuff. We need to stir some things up. We need to shake the tribe. It's getting a little
We
boring.
hate Kelly. We
We
hate
hate
Raymond.
Kelly. We hate Raymond. They're getting on our nerves. We should um we should do something. And they're like, what should we do? They're like, kinda. We ain't never been to tribal council. Maybe we should go. Maybe we should throw this next challenge. I'm just thinking. I don't know what y'all think. I'm just thinking we could throw the next challenge. And so Sarah is like, I think so. Alex is like, I think so. Then Tobias is like, we could totally just throw it. Peter said, let's do it. So the four of them are in it. They are
Mhm.
together. They are cuddled up, and they like we finna throw this challenge so we can get rid of Kelly or Raymond. One of them gotta go. We gotta break that up because they get on our nerves. I just I just want peace on camp. I just want peace. And I was like, okay. I can understand if I was in there with Kelly, I would probably want her gone too. That's just me. I would probably
Fair.
want her gone too. But yeah.
I like her as a character, though. This episode really could have been called Deja Vu.
Yeah.
Because I was like, wait, this is literally everything that happened in episode 1 with the other tribe.
Except they didn't try to throw the challenge. They
True.
just sucked at it.
It it ends up being a weird merger because of something a little bit later on, also of episode 2, and that kind of tribal situation with split plans.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And so we go to the first challenge, and two opposing tribe members will start at the challenge in a rope cage While fending off their opponents, each player will attempt to climb up a rope ladder to the top of the cage. The first person to climb to do so wins that round for their tribe. And the first tribe to win 3 rounds wins. And then they win a basket full of food. So they're very excited to win this basket full of food. And they're like, all right, let's do this. And you know what? This was it was interesting. It was not really a lot because one team got demolished, one team didn't. And it's not who you think it is, people, because the reward challenge went to the Titans once again. They demolished in the reward challenge. Just can't win immunities. Yeah. But
And Mark is the
I'm
not so
about to
secret
say,
weapon.
I was about to say, Mark turned out to be Aquaman in the water. I was like, where did that come from? He just out of nowhere. They were like, it was Mark and who was with him?
It
Mark and
wasn't.
Winner? I think it was Winner.
I think it was Winner, yeah, because it
I
definitely
think
wasn't Eden or Charles.
no, it was Mark and Winner against Ferris and
Garrick? I don't think
maybe
that's right.
I don't remember, but I
Garrick
know
or
Ferris.
Alex?
But they were like Ferris is go. Yeah, Ferris should win this easily against Mark and Winner. Absolutely, man. They said go. Mark said. I was like, what's so funny? He was moving like a submarine on that water, like a torpedo. Just he was smooth. He was smooth. I was very impressed. I was very impressed. But they win and they get their basket of food. They go back to camp, see their basket of food, and it's all canned goods. I was like, ooh, they wrong for that. They are wrong for giving them canned goods. But I did have my conspiracy theory because I said, I think if we didn't get the people in the bananas to have this, it would have that golden spam would have
Yeah.
had the clue in it
Oh.
for the idol, but they couldn't do it with Titans because they won the bananas and when it got the clue and got the idol. So now it was nothing in that spam can, but it probably would have been something in that spam can if she didn't have that. So if that would went to the rebels, it would have been a clue in that spam can about this idol that they have to find. But that was my little conspiracy there because I was like, why all these cans silver, and then there's one golden can of spam, and then Jaden is like, ooh, I want the spam, and Mark's like, I'll take the spam. You can have this big one, big boy. He's like, but I wanted the spam. I wanted the spam, which I probably would have wanted the spam too because meat. I want the meat. I don't want no more fruit. I want spam, but they all got their own little cans of food. I'm like, rude, rude. I feel
Horrible.
rude. I thought that was just as rude as them giving them cold pizza on Survivor the last time, and I was like, why y'all giving these folks cold pizza? You could have took them to the sanctuary and they ain't had to have cold pizza. Like, come on, come on. But anything happen else that happens in these moments before we go to the next immunity challenge?
Well, I don't know if it happened at this point, but speaking of idols.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think it happens here.
Yeah, we have PETA. She finds an idol.
I think, if I'm remembering right, she goes off with either Alex or
It was
Tobias.
Alex. Of course,
It was
it's
definitely
Alex.
Oh,
It's
duh, it was
only
Alex
Alex.
because she's the Barbie to his Ken.
Ken, absolutely.
They
Because she
go
only
off.
hangs out with Alex if she's not hanging out with Sarah.
They go off. They just want to go walk around and find some supplies and definitely not just look for an idol. And they look for an idol. And Peeta finds it.
Hmm. Good for her. She finds it. Um she finds it. She takes it. They celebrate. They both put it on so they can get a feel for how it looks on them, and they're very excited. They're very excited to find the um the idol,
Hmm.
and so we get to the challenge, and the challenge is each tribe will push a heavy cart bearing a slingshot through a series of obstacles. Along the way, they will gather sandbags. They will stack the sandbags to allow one member to retrieve a machete from a tall pole. After that, one member will use the machete to slice through the ropes, release two bags of smaller sandbags, and once the tribe has finished the finish line, they will fire the sandbags at the puzzle, knock all the puzzle pieces down. Once all the puzzle pieces are knocked down, then two people will go put the puzzle together with the Australian Survivor logo, and the first tribe to do so wins. Now, we already talked about how the Cuddle Crew has decided to throw this challenge. And they start off right away because all of a sudden, can't nobody push no cart. It's too heavy. Uh, we
Yeah.
can't push it.
Garrick's like, is anybody pushing?
And Garrett, because Garrett and Farrah are like, "Mm," and the cart's not moving. And Alex and Tobias, and they're like, oh, this is so heavy. Oh my God. So then they finally was like, okay, Alex, switch. By this time, the Titans are always halfway up the ramp doing their thing, got the sandbags and got the machete and slicing through the bags already. And they like, mm, mm, we can't push it. So they pushing it. They're finally, they're finally get to that first part. The Titans are getting through everything. Nathan is on the slingshot. Bam! He
He's
knocking him
good.
down. He knocking him down. He killing them. So then
Yeah.
Tobias finally gets up to that part for the rebels. He's like, oh, I can't do it. Oh my God, it's going underneath it. Oh my God, it's going off to the side. Oh my Lord, I can't do it. There's something wrong. I don't know how to work this slingshot. All of a sudden, and Kirby was like, I got it. Let me get it. Swoop, bam, knocked it off. Swoop,
No
bam,
misses.
knocked it off. Ain't missed once. Kirby was the MVP. She was knocking them off. Everybody couldn't do nothing.
Apparently, the AFL just prepares you for shooting sandbags at wooden blocks because Christ, both Nathan and Kirby just nail it.
You gotta have aim. You gotta
Boom,
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 boom, boom,
one after
and
another.
that's just how you do it. I was like, go Kirby. Um, so then it's Eden and Charles on the puzzle, and they put the puzzle together pretty quickly. They're getting it, they're doing it really quickly, and once they think they're done, they're like, Jonathan,
Yeah.
yeah. Jonathan, hold on, that's not right. And they're like, what? What do you mean it's not right? What do you mean it's not right? They're like, it's
Kirby,
not
I
right.
see it.
Right. Kirby was like, they don't see it. I see it. And they're like, what?
It's yellow.
It's yellow
Should
right
be
there. It's
blue.
blue. And he was like, oh. And so now I'm like, even when they're throwing it to you, you
Yeah.
still are going to lose it. Oh my gosh. So they're looking and they can't figure it out. Eden and Charles are getting frustrated. They're like, what is it? What is it? Ah. Finally, they
I
see it.
I do want to give them credit though. It is like the
Hmm.
smallest tip of the top of the Survivor logo, of the top of the Survivor torch. It's blue instead of it not having lines there. So it's not entirely impossible for them to miss it, but Jesus,
I was amazed that Kirby spotted it from
She
like
spotted
way
it from
over on
over
the
there.
other mat.
Yep.
She really impressed me this
Impressed me.
episode
Me
yeah.
because
too. Me too.
she was a non-entity before this episode for me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But um they finally figured it out. right as the rebels was about to finish, they were almost done. They were putting their last two pieces on when they figured it out. They turned around, and thankfully, the Titans win their first
Yeah.
immunity, and they jumping around and
Yay.
celebrating like woo! And Tobias and Sarah and Peter and Alex are like, we gave that to you, but sure, take it. And they laughing and they like, yay! So we don't have to see Titans at immunity to tribal council this time. So great on them. Um, so we get back to camp and the cuddle crew get to work. They like after everybody do that was a tough challenge, y'all, but it's okay. If the ground was soft, it was a lot. We could, but the crew, you guys on the puzzle, you all ate, y'all did that great, y'all were great, blah blah. So they're like, let's go fix something to eat. Let's go get some water. So then they start to separate, and they go and they meet up with, uh, I think it was Rihanna and Eileen, and they're like at the water well with Raymond, and they're like, it got to be Kelly, right? And Raymond's like, okay, I'll be right back. I don't want to stay around too long. So he just walks away. But everybody's like, yeah, Kelly, that's obvious choice, right? They're like, yeah, obvious choice.
Easy
Yes,
vote.
Kelly. Easy vote, we'll do Kelly. So
I
they
split the
continue to,
votes.
yeah, we should split the votes just in case. Put a couple on Raymond. Let's do 3 here, the 3 girls on Raymond, everybody else on Kelly. Got it? Got it. Good. Let's go.
Ooh,
So
we're
everybody
good.
leaves.
We're good.
We're good. So then they go tell Ferris and they tell um,
I think
Ferris that
Garrick
he's
as
supposed
well.
that Ferris was going to be the one to tell Garrett because they don't have a
Yeah.
relationship with Garrett. So Ferris will tell Garrett, and that's what, and then Peter will tell Kirby, and it'll get around. Somebody will tell Scott. Everybody will make sure everybody knows that the plan is Kelly. And so this is where I was like, I knew it was something about Garrett. Garrett said, he goes to Ferris. He said, you think something fishy was going on at that challenge? He said, I mean, I know we are a little hungry, but we ain't that weak where we couldn't push no card. Ferris was like, absolutely. He said, it felt like we were the only one doing the work. He was like, exactly. I think it's some suspicion, some fishiness going on. He's like, oh, yep, I agree. Um, and so they're like, and I think the Cuddle Crew has a plan, and maybe we should break up that crew instead of going with this Kelly plan of it all. And they're like, who you thinking? And they're like, I think the troublemaker is Peter. I'm like, yeah, couldn't be Alex, right? But Peter, sure.
Always the woman.
No, it's always the woman's fault. But we get Ferris and Garrett. They go to Eileen and Kirby, and they're like, maybe it should be Peter. And they're like, that makes sense to me. Sure. Kelly's down for it. Rihanna's down for it. Scott's everybody else is down for it. Raymond is down for it. And so then they're like, what do we tell Kelly? Here we go again. Because we don't want her to freak out. But you know what? Somebody tells Kelly. And Kelly, of course, is like,
Method acting.
I'm going to be a method actor. And I'm going to act like I'm crying and stressed and
Comfort me, comfort me.
stop, comfort me. Home, home. I'm so stressed. I'm super stressed. I'll pretend, I'll pretend like I'm crying and I'm stressed. So just hug me. And
Doing way
Peter
too much.
do way too much. And Ferris is like, you're doing way too much. She's like, no, I'm acting. He's like, you're doing a little too much. She's no, I'm acting. Make them believe I'm super stressed. Okay. I was like, girl, oh Jesus, my Lanta, stop it. But child, Peter and Sarah are like, she all right? I don't know. She all right? Something wrong with her. But everybody's like, just stick to the plan. They have no idea. They're like, what if an idol comes into play? Kirby like, she ain't got no idol. She ain't got no idol. And they're like, but what if she had like, but they so arrogant they don't think it's happening to them. She's not gonna play the idol. She's not gonna play it. Okay, okay. She said, just write down Peter, full stop. That's it. Write down Peter. They're like, okay. Then Kirby goes, but I need to make sure I'm still on the side of the other side just in case something goes awry. So I think I might have to switch my vote because Peter's going home regardless. The majority is already voting for her. But I don't need to do that. And I will still be on the right side, but they think I'm on their side. So I kind of need to play this middle correctly. And I was like, okay, Kirby.
That's smart.
I'm looking at you, Kirby.
It's going to be her and Riri, which I was getting such parallels between Kirby and Riri and Mark and Eden.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just the simple strategy of just keep the votes even. We know we have it.
Absolutely.
No worries, no biggies. Just let the tribal be a little bit more interesting. Let them have a little bit more joy before we drop the hammer on them.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So we get to tribal, and Jonathan is like being messy, like Jonathan always is, which I love. And he's asking the questions to the people who I need him to ask the questions to, because he asked Kelly, and Kelly goes into her. I think there are people who are bonding more and clicking together more than others. And um, I just feel like it might be me. And he's like, have you contributed to camp? She's like, I mean, I do. I work as much as I can. I stay up all night to stoke the fire and make sure that the fire is going at night. And they're like, and everybody's agreeing, like, yes, you do. And he was like, she's like, because it's cold out there. And, all of us can't sleep by the fire. And so Alex is like, would you like that spot, Kelly? She's like, what do you, what? She was like, I mean, by the fire, is that, you feel like, I feel, and Alex was like, I feel very attacked in this moment. Like, you coming for me, and I didn't send for you. So what is happening, Kelly? And she's like, She don't say that. She just roll her eyes in her head. So he goes to PETA, and she is like doing her. No, I mean, we're all we're strong tribe. We had 7 days to get to know each other, and maybe people like some people, and I think we've jailed. Then he goes to Raymond, and he asked Raymond what he thinks, and Raymond was like, "Yeah, we've been here, and we haven't come to tribal, so we haven't lost anybody, and I like most of the people here." Did I say that? I meant all of the people here. I like all.
So
like,
messy.
oh, Raymond.
And for what?
I kind of love because he's Raymond and he can, and I love him for it. Just do you, boo. I love it. Raymond was like, I like most people here. Look, why lie? You ain't gonna like everybody there. I like most of them. Some of y'all I don't like. It is what it is. But that was funny. And Peter was like, I think I might be one of the people he don't like. I was like, you are. I was like, it was so cringy and awkward and weird, but it was funny at the same time because then you got Ferris sitting there grinning like a Cheshire cat, just loving the moment. I think Ferris couldn't wait to get the tribal council like a lot of people. He was like, the game is on. My plan is coming into play, and I can't wait to see it go. I was just like, okay, Ferris, I see you. And he was very ready for the game to go and for it to
He said
play.
someone needs to be put in their place a bit.
And I was like, oh.
And also like I mean, if you're confident in who you have, there's like no reason to play idols or anything. Like, it's too early for that. Like, come on.
Right. And Alex is like, but if you have one and you feel like you should, and if you think it
Maybe you
might be
should.
you might should play it. And he's like, but it's early. Why would you
It's
play
too
an idol
early.
so early? It's too
The
early
Cuddle
for
Bunch
that.
were getting so many hints dropped to them.
Easter eggs, like bloop, bloop,
Yep.
bloop, after
I,
another. I'm like, girl, you better play that idol. If I
I
was
don't think it could have been. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I don't think it could have been any more obvious other than saying, PETA, you're getting votes
Right.
tonight.
It's,
Like, I have this feeling that they wanted PETA to play that idol so bad and have
I
that
think they were okay
early
with
vote
it.
cast.
I
But
think here's the thing. I think Ferris was like, if she plays it and Kelly goes home, Kelly goes home. It is what it is. I'm not mad either way. But if she don't play it and Peter go home, Peter go home. It's fine. I don't think he cared either way because he knew he was safe, and the people who he really wanted to be safe would be safe. So I don't think he cared. But
I'm thinking more the producers wanted it. They were prompting JLP to ask the like questions to try and get PETA to be like, do I need to?
I mean, I think the producers probably wanted her to stay because the producers love a good showman, and it was building up to be a decent showman between the
They
two of
still have
them.
one.
They still have one, but I think Peter and Alex is more exciting than Sarah and Tobias because I don't remember Sarah at all. If you go be
She's a
honest,
firefighter. That's all I know.
sure, yep, that's it. But the votes go down, and Jonathan asks if anybody wants to play an idol. Now will be the time to do so. And Peter looks, she shifts, she moves. Alex looks at her, she moves, and then she settles. She's like, oh, and the votes are cast. We see Raymond, 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 Kelly, 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 Peter, Peter, Peter,
PETA.
Peter. And Peter is blindsided out with an idol in her bag.
That she literally got the other
Just got it.
day.
She just got it. Ain't had it 24 hours and she got it and now she gone. I was like, Sucks for you, Peter. You make this whole plan about throwing a challenge just so you can get Kelly out, and then it bites you and you're gone.
Where's the X?
Oh, the exes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was a really good start to the season. I liked all 3 episodes, even if I was never surprised by any of the votes. But I notoriously think that like the even seasons just get better and better and the odd seasons get worse and worse. So I'm hoping this finally breaks the curse for odd seasons.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was a
Yeah.
odd even thing, but okay. But yep, so that's that. We are going to be back here next week talking more Australian Survivor.
But before that, we have a
Oh,
draft.
we do have a
Very quick
draft. So we'll do a quick draft
Yeah.
because from the people who are still here. I forgot about the draft that fast.
Yes.
But yeah, we have a draft. Did we do a random dot?
We didn't. Anybody want to
I
go
will do
first?
it. I'll do it. I'll
Okay.
just do it really
That
quickly.
works.
We can do
We're
this.
each going to get 7 people on our team.
7 people.
Big draft team.
We are doing it. Okay, here we go. To list. There we are. List randomizer. David, Lana, Jack. All right, how many times do we randomize this?
Do it 3 times, even though it's season 9. 9 takes too long.
Yeah, that takes too long.
We had 3 episodes.
Yes, we had 3 episodes. So that's 1.
There we go. Yeah.
That is 2. And that is 3. So the order is Jack, Lana, David. Jack, Lana, David. So Jack, you are up first.
I'm gonna grab Mark. I feel like it's a deep run. Yeah, I mean
that's who I was gonna pick first.
That was one. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just the early standout. So, Mark.
Lovely. Makes sense. Y'all know where I'm going. It's no surprise to anybody. I'm picking Viola because that's who I was going to.
Well, then I will take Valeria,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I will also take Ferris.
Oh, good choice.
Oh, yeah.
I am going to take. Hmm. I'm going to take. You said Ferris
Hmm.
and
Valeria.
Valeria. I am going to take Kirby.
Ah, that was my next pick.
Same.
Then I it's my draft. It's my double draft next, right?
Hmm.
If I can count
Yes.
them correctly.
Yes.
Uh, I am going to take Winna and Garrick.
Oh, you no.
Those were some good picks.
Oh, why did you take that one? Okay. Um, I was gonna take Garrick.
You got Kirby. It's only fair.
I guess. I guess. I'm gonna take Rihanna.
Okay.
I think she's a
Um,
sleeper.
well, I got to take him. I'm going to take Eden.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I don't know. I have a feeling she's going to go far, especially when Alex said she was going to be one of the first three out. I'm taking Kelly.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Ooh.
Good. Okay. I am going to take. I'm gonna take Charles.
Ooh. I was very much hoping you did not take my either of my next two picks. I am going to go first for Sarah. I think having an early vignette is a really good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna grab a sleeper of Eileen.
Mm,
Okay.
okay. Mm, mm. I'm going to take Jaden.
Ah, dang it. You all keep taking the people I want. Okay. I will take Raymond,
Mm-hmm.
and then. Hmm. I think I will take. Oh, this is tough. I'm going to take Caroline.
Okay. I'm going to take Tobias.
Ah. Uh I'm pretty sure Kitty hasn't been drafted yet, so I'll take her.
No.
Correct.
Okay.
Uh and then
Your last pick?
yep.
Alex, Nathan, or
I
Scott?
Okay, that's what I thought it was. I think either Nathan is gonna go in like the next two episodes, or he's gonna make it near the end. So I'm gonna take Nathan.
Oh. Or Alex. Scott or Alex. Scott. I'll take Alex.
Okay, come comfort me, Scott.
Come comfort me.
Show up in the next episode, Scott.
Right. I would love to see who you are, Scott. But those are our teams. We did a quick draft. That was quick. I love that. Um, we will be back here next week to talk about all things of Survivor Australia. Subscribe to the channel if you would love. If you like, we appreciate you. If you do, subscribe to this channel, our main channel at the Cup Pod, our other channel at the Cup BSC. Um, Follow us on all of our socials at the Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You can also follow the three of us here on our Twitters and Instagrams and things like that. Follow Jack; he's a Twitch guy. Go do the Twitch things with Jack whenever they have time. Um, get your cup merch at the link is in the description below. And on that note, you guys, we're gonna say cheers.
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 Woo, woo,
Woo,
Woo,
woo,
woo,
woo.
woo.